Hey everyone, welcome back. You know how much we love to dig into unusual careers, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're going behind the scenes of a job you probably haven't thought much about. Linen Room Attendant.
That's right. And we like to come at things from all angles, so we're using a really cool career guide from RoleCatcher, plus taking a look at how AI is shaking things up in the job market these days.
Yeah, the AI stuff is super interesting. We'll definitely get into that. But first, let me tell you, diving into this RoleCatcher guide was a total eye-opener. I mean, seriously, who knew there was so much to learn about keeping those towels and sheets looking pristine, whether you're at a fancy hotel or even a hospital, right?
Absolutely. It's easy to overlook these everyday things, but the truth is, these are the unsung heroes of the hospitality and healthcare industries, wouldn't you say? I mean, close your eyes for a second and imagine checking into a hotel after a long trip, only to find a messy room and no fresh towels. Or even worse, picture yourself going to the hospital and they're handing you dingy gowns. Not exactly the most comforting thought, is it?
Mm, don't even get me started. It's funny how you don't realize how much those little details matter until they go wrong. Like, I remember this one time I was at a hotel, and for some reason their linen service was all out of whack. They couldn't get us fresh towels. And it turned what should have been a relaxing stay into a total headache. All because of something that seemed so minor.
Right. It's a perfect example of how crucial this role is, even though it often flies under the radar. It really shapes a customer or patient's whole experience, wouldn't you agree?
No question. And the crazy thing is, according to RoleCatcher, this isn't just some niche field. They're actually seeing steady growth,
Yeah,
which makes sense when you think about how essential it is.
that's plus.
Plus, I was surprised by this. The work settings are surprisingly diverse. We're talking hotels, resorts, even cruise ships. Can you imagine the operation they must have going on below deck to keep those linens fresh for everyone?
Yeah, that's a whole other world, isn't it? It just goes to show a job that might seem pretty straightforward on the surface can actually be connected to so many different industries. And when you get into the nuts and bolts of the job description itself, it goes way beyond just doing laundry, that's for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. Well, I have to admit, I was surprised to see the range of skills they highlight as being important. I mean, obviously, being organized and detail-oriented is a huge part of it, but then they get into things like customer service skills, which, now that I think about it,
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense, but I wouldn't have thought of it right off the bat.
It's one of those things you don't really consider until someone points it out, right? But when you break it down, it's like, think about it. Dealing with guest requests, handling complaints, maybe even someone who's totally freaking out because they're missing a bathrobe that's all customer service right there.
Totally. It's like being on the front lines sometimes, even if you're behind the scenes of the linen closet. And speaking of handling those curveballs and those unexpected moments, this is where the whole AI aspect gets really interesting, right?
Hmm.
Because RoleCatcher talks about how AI is totally changing the game when it comes to not just job hunting, but like even how we think about our careers.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what's really cool here is how RoleCatcher is using AI to analyze your skills, even those ones you might not think are a big deal or even related. And then get this, it matches them to potential jobs you might be a good fit for.
So wait, you're telling me that someone with experience in, say, I don't know, retail inventory management, they could actually have transferable skills that would make them a killer linen room attendant?
Exactly. It's all about connecting those dots, right? Because sometimes we don't even see those connections ourselves. But AI can zero in on those areas where your skills overlap, and then boom, it opens up all these possibilities you might never have even considered.
That's wild. And it makes total sense, too, when you think about it, because both roles need someone who's organized, who can handle inventory, all that jazz. And you know what I love about this role catcher guide? It even has sample interview questions, which, let's be real, is so helpful when you're trying to prep for an interview.
Oh, for sure. Those are like gold because they give you this little peek into what the employers are actually looking for beyond just the basic stuff on your resume.
Right. They're trying to get into your head a little
Yeah.
bit. Okay, so get ready for a pop quiz because I found one that I think is super interesting. It asks, how would you handle a situation where you have a guest and they're being, shall we say, particularly insistent about needing fresh linens immediately?
Ooh, that's a good one. They're really trying to see if you can stay calm under pressure, think on your feet, and still deliver A+ customer service, which, when you think about it, are all super essential for a linen room attendant.
Exactly. It's not just about knowing how to fold a towel. It's about how you deal with those unexpected situations, which, let's be real, happen all the time in a fast-paced environment. like a hotel or a hospital.
Oh, absolutely. And as we saw from the guide, the cool thing is there's definitely room for growth in this field too. You can start as a linen room attendant and then work your way up to a supervisory role, maybe even become a laundry manager down the line.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Working your way up to overseeing the entire linen operation?
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. And the best part is, RoleCatcher says that the employment outlook for this field is actually really stable. So
Mhm.
even as technology changes and things evolve, these roles are still going to be essential because, let's face it, they're the backbone of so many industries.
It's kind of cool when you think about it, the whole career path thing. I mean, you could start out in the linen room and end up running the whole show. Right. There's something about that, like I don't know, a hidden world of expertise that most people don't even realize is there. And speaking of expertise, you know what else I thought was really interesting in the role catcher guide? That part where they give you like a day in the life example for a linen room attendant.
Oh yeah, that was a nice touch. It definitely made it feel more real, like they walk you through the typical stuff, sorting and counting linens, making sure they're all in good shape, delivering them to different places.
Yeah, it really gives you the sense of like constant movement, got to stay organized, pay attention to every detail, but then just when you think you've got it all figured out, something throws you a curveball. Like, boom, suddenly there's a lunch rush and you're slammed with requests for towels.
Exactly. You got to be able to think on your feet, be resourceful, all that good stuff. It's a good reminder that even in a job that seems, I don't know, maybe a little predictable on the surface, there's still plenty of room for problem solving and thinking outside the box.
Absolutely. It's like you're the master of your domain, or I guess the master of the linen closet. Okay, bad joke. But seriously, I think what we've really uncovered here is that linen room attendants, they're kind of like the unsung heroes of a lot of the places we go every day.
Yeah, totally. Whether it's a hotel, a hospital, even a cruise ship, they're the ones working behind the scenes to make sure everything runs smoothly.
It's like you don't really think about it until you're reaching for that perfectly folded towel or you slip into those crisp, clean sheets. But there's a whole lot of hard work and dedication that goes into making those little things happen. It's so true. So next time you're checking into a hotel or even just grabbing a fresh towel at the gym, maybe take a second to think about all the unseen hands that made that little bit of comfort possible.
And hey, you never know, maybe you'll be inspired to explore some of those unexpected career paths out there, like the surprisingly fascinating world of a linen room attendant.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and fold up today's deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.